وهيدا المهرجان هو المهرجان الوحيد اللي هو دوليا ببلد عربي، وكان ما بين 8 ل 14 شباط.
نعم.
وكنت انا بسعدني انه اكون حكم بين 5 حكام دوليين بترأسهم ايطاليه هي اسمها كيرين مونك اللي هي رئيسه مهرجانات بارما الايطاليه.
نعم.
كان في 59 فيلم انعرضوا على الحكام. بسعدني اقول كمان انه الفيلم الاول اللي اخذ اعجاب الحكام بالاجماع كان فيلم لبناني. هيدا شرف كبير، هيدي جائزة ذهبية وهي سموها الذربية الذهبية لأنه القيروان بلدة تشتهر مشهورة كثير في صناعة السجاد. التلاميذ اللي هن بمدرسة صغيرة بيعملوا فيلم بيربح الجائزة هيدي، فبدل هيدا إن دل على توعية ولابد من تنويه الطلاب وهالنادي البيئي بالمدرسة. والمدرسة ذاتها.
بحب وجه شكر لمدرستنا مدرسة المروج، لأنه عن جد بعتقد إنه ما في مدرسة بتقدم، يعني تحكيك الصراحة إنه الفيلم كلفنا كثير، فما في مدرسة عن جد بتقدم هالقد مبلغ للتلاميذ.
المدرسة هي اللي غطت الإمكانيات المادية.
نعم، فإنه ساعدت للتلاميذ ينتجوا فيلم مش حتعرف إنه حيربحوا من وراها جائزة أو شيء، فشكر كبير أكيد وبنخص والذكر نسنيب على الحمدان.
نحن بدنا نشكر كل اللي ساهموا بإنجاح هيدا الفيلم، وبندعي كل المدارس بالفعل لحتى يشجع طلابها على تحقيق هيك إنجاز.
بدي أشكركم على مجموعة الكبايات اللي قدمتوا لنا إياها، والأحلى كمان الأرانجمان الزهور يلي زينوا استوديو قناتية كمان. طيب نحن رح نشوف هلا المقدمة للفيلم الوثائقي، بنرجع بنشوفه بشكل كامل بعد شوي.
Under our Mediterranean Sea, something unusual is happening. Fish are migrating and plants are withering. A funeral is held where many sea animals are gathered around the king of the sea. All are sad and silent.
My dear beloved, we are gathered here today to mourn the death of many of our friends from sea pollution. This is wrong. May they rest in peace.
Grandpa, what is happening to our home? We can hardly find food, light, or oxygen. What's going on?
I hate what's happening. This is wrong. I hate the sea. Let's go find another place to live in.
Why are you so pessimistic, Angry Fish? Let's try to understand what's happening before we decide to abandon our home.
I hate young fish.
My dear children and friends, our Lebanese seawaters are under attack. This so-called civilization of humans has spread terror among our sea population.
When and how did this start?
The uncontrolled and cruel human attacks started with the onset of the Civil War. when militias controlled the ports along the Lebanese coast.
Tell us, King, what did the militias do?
Well, my dear, on September 21st, 1987, the Czechoslovakian ship Radhost was allowed into Beirut port to unload its shipment of 15,800 barrels. And 20 containers of toxic waste.
Toxic wastes. Oh, God, have mercy on us. Who was the criminal who imported this waste?
Officially, the importer of the ship's cargo was Adonis Productions Engineering. Yet this company didn't exist. The company responsible was Arman Nassar. This deadly ship that was sent by the Italian Jellywax company was welcomed by Arman Nassar for a few $1 million, some of which would go to the militias. After analyzing these toxic wastes, they were found to include dangerous substances that can cause fatal diseases.
Tell us, King, what happened to these barrels?
In June 1988, the Lebanese media uncovered the deal. The Lebanese government demanded that all toxic barrels should return to Italy at once.
وشدد الرئيس الحص على إخراج النفايات من لبنان، ولكن إخراجها لا يعني طي صفحة جريمة استيرادها.
The Italian government deceived Lebanese public opinion when it said that it had returned all 2,411 tons of toxic waste.
Cette question peut comprendre un transport et puis la destruction.
Actually, only 5,500 barrels were loaded. All the remaining 10,000 barrels and all 20 containers remained in Lebanon, where they were dumped along its shores or in its soil. Isn't that right, Counselor?
Ah, yes, Your Majesty. Greenpeace claimed that 3 of these ships dumped their waste in the Mediterranean. It was also reported that one of these ships, Ivan, disappeared and was probably sunk with its waste.
Did the problem of toxic barrels appear again?
Unfortunately, yes. On the 14th of June, 1994, 14 barrels were discovered in Kasserwan. More and more barrels were discovered later.
Tell us, Grandpa, what did the government do to solve the problem of toxic barrels?
After Greenpeace experts analyzed the material in the barrels, they confirmed that the barrels are dangerous. One day after the Greenpeace report was published, Prime Minister Rafiq al-Hariri launched a search for the barrels to remove them as quickly as possible.
Tell us, Grandpa, what happened to those involved in the scandal? Were they brought to justice?
Those who were really responsible continued to enjoy their freedom after presenting a letter of guarantee that is worth 100,000 Lebanese pounds.
Is that all? Is the life of our fish and humans worth 100,000 Lebanese pounds only?
Oh, how horrible!
I hate horrible things.
Your Majesty, my dear friends, according to my knowledge, the toxic barrels were not the only cause of our sea pollution. Industry effluents and domestic sewage are continuously dumped in our sea without prior treatment and are causing serious damage to our water ecosystems.
Tell us, Fish Counselor, are there a lot of industries and sewer lines across our coast?
Oh, they're everywhere.
Well, Counselor, how do they affect us?
Well, in October 1997, Greenpeace took over 100 samples of the industrial and sewage effluents are dumped into the sea in different areas. Most of the samples were collected from sediments.
Were the samples clean?
Well, sweetie, the results of the Greenpeace sampling were not promising. Most samples contained high levels of heavy metals and organic pollutants that are harmful to both sea animals and humans. Greenpeace results can be summarized as follows.
Oh God, those crazy humans are turning our sea into an awful dump site.